After 2 months of exploring Mexico, it's time to visit the country's beating heart, Mexico City. Home to over 9 million people and spanning 1,485 square kilometers, it's a restless giant. Its streets pulsing like veins, its markets humming like a heartbeat, a living mosaic of history and motion that never sleeps. And we're driving straight into the belly of the beast. But first, we have to cross a towering mountain range with some of the narrowest shelf roads and tightest switchbacks we have ever seen. These roads won't drive themselves, folks, so buckle up and let's roam. Well, hello there folks, how's it going? We are currently on Highway 105 over the Sierra Gorda, going west towards Mexico City. We're going to be stopping off at Tolantongo, checking that area out, and then we're going right into the belly of the beast, the big city, Mexico City, home of 2 million people or something like that. But first we got to get over this mountain range, and it's proving to be pretty wild. This will be the second time we cross over the Sierra Gorda range, but it would seem at this latitude the mountains have a considerably different characteristic. The 105, in contrast to the 100 by which we traveled eastward, is at a lower elevation. This region at least strikes us as more tropical, lending a good idea as to why it's considered a cloud forest here. The section of the 105 that we're currently following winds its way along a mountain ridge, weaving through towering mountain peaks and a collection of small mountaintop towns. It had us wondering about what life is like up here year-round. As our destination of La Gloria Tolantongo is pretty far away and driving these mountain roads is a slow and steady endeavor, we know we won't make it through the mountains today. Instead, we found a small town along the way with a lake where we can camp for the night. Upon arrival at Laguna Azteca, we find a grassy pasture right on the water. Meg immediately makes a break for the local livestock in hopes of making friends, and I watch the ducks. What have you devised, my love?
Beef and broccoli.
Beef and broccoli?
Beef and broccoli. I found some weird pre-cooked shredded beef today at the store, so.
That looks delicious. I'm famished. It's been a long day of driving. Well, as they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Well, that's not true.
This horse was thirsty.
Based on what he just did.
When we arrived here the day before, we parked up the van and for an hour before doing anything, sat in place and hashed out some tension that had been building between us. We've spoken in the past about disagreements and arguments that we've had on the road, and will periodically do so as we continue to make these films. It's a good chance to bring these highlight reels of our life back to reality and remind all of you that we're two humans in a small box on wheels wandering through a foreign country, dealing with the struggles and challenges that come with that. Our relationship, our marriage, just like the van, requires constant upkeep, and even more so while living shoulder to shoulder in something like 90 square feet. After an hour of stretching our emotional intelligence, straining to come to an understanding, We looked at each other with tears in our eyes and told each other there's no one else in the world we'd rather be doing this with. It's hard work, a relationship on the road, but it's absolutely worth it.
There's like this weird kind of symbiotic relationship with cows and egrets. If anyone can tell us what that is about, that would be great. They're always together. At least it's something we've noticed in Mexico.
Someone at like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning is lighting off freaking massive fireworks.
With camp packed up in Laguna Azteca in our rearview mirror, we hopped back on the highway for another long day of driving on wiggly, high mountain roads. After a detour that had added an additional hour and a half to our journey, we had made the traverse west back into arid countryside and found ourselves on a valley floor surrounded by farmland. But that wouldn't last long. We'd be back in the mountains shortly. A word of caution if you plan to drive in Mexico. Google doesn't always do a great job of building routes, and you'll often find yourself going the wrong direction on a one-way or randomly climbing a steep gravel mountain pass to get to the next town. We're happy to be driving gravel, but this course correction came as a complete surprise. What started as Google directing us down a non-existent road turned into a steep, rocky, and long detour over a high mountain pass. But that's okay. We're here for this kind of adventure. I'd like all of you viewing to bear in mind that when you're watching these aerial shots, Meg is driving. The badass babe behind the wheel that I call my wife has driven all of the crazy routes that you have viewed from the air. So if you weren't awed by Meg yet, maybe this knowledge will get you a little closer. And yes, that's her backing up the van on a single-lane shelf road to let a truck past. As we followed this bizarre detour, it quickly turned into a road that we had never before seen the likes of. Truthfully, these are the tightest packed switchbacks we have ever seen during all of our travels. A Mexican road engineer once looked at this cliff face and said, "Yeah, we should build a road up that." The thing that is hilarious to us is that while feeling so adventurous and daring while driving this road, we were passed in the opposite direction by two cars, both of which were Toyota Tercels, one filled with a family and the other a taxi. I love this country so much.
Honey,
Honey.
I'm a navigation genius. Found the river.
We love a free camp spot, and when you see a flowing river in Mexico, you know there's going to be a road down to it somewhere. This one took a little bit of hunting for, but it was well worth the search. While parking up, this fine gentleman and his herd of goats came down the track. He walked straight up to us, introduced himself, shook our hands, and we proceeded to have a brief conversation with him in broken Spanish. He assured us that this spot was totally fine to camp and that we'd be perfectly safe.
What's that? You in heaven right now, Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little experience, immediately being greeted by one of the locals here and his herd of goats. Something that's really funny that happens like all the time is pretty much everyone in Mexico thinks Meg is Mexican. And so they look at me, realize I don't speak a whole lot of Spanish, and just immediately start addressing Meg. And
Expecting to have a conversation.
and she's just like, I mean, Meg does speak way more Spanish than I do, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
The following morning, we packed up, snuck in a quick river bath, and then hit the track again. Little did we know, we were in for another day of intense mountain switchbacks, steep cliffs, and burning brakes.
Alright, now that we are back on track here, you gotta show you this road. Look at that road. Oh my goodness. Lots of switchies today. Came from over there. We drove that road right there. Wild. Well, we're 9.4 kilometers away from La Gloria Tolantongo, and we're driving up like 21% right now or something. It's stupid steep and super windy. Like, these switchbacks are wild.
Pineapple in the deck.
So about 2 hours ago, we were way the heck over there, coming up the side of that mountain and looking over at that peak right there. Whoa, crazy.
We read online how this road really scared people, and how if they had known, they'd never have come. And yeah, we can see why.
Okay, so we have successfully made it to La Gloria Tolantongo, but not without a little bit of drama as we got towards the busy parking lot and I could not land the drone. That was very fun, but we've paid our dues and we are now heading down towards La Positas and gonna hang out in thermal waters and drink alcohol for a few hours. Yay!
La Gloria Tolantongo, located in Hidalgo, Mexico, is an ecotourism park renowned for its natural geothermal springs, cascading waterfalls, and breathtaking canyon views. Formed by underground volcanic activity, the thermal waters create warm, mineral-rich pools that cascade down the mountainside.
All right, you ready?
Ready?
Let's go. Look at this. That water's a lot colder.
Developed in the 1970s by local ejido communities, the park operates under a cooperative model that promotes sustainable tourism while benefiting residents.
It's cold.
If you're enjoying this film and want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It's a free and easy way to help our videos make it to a wider audience. Offering a quieter alternative to the nearby Grutas de Tolantongo, La Gloria provides thermal pools, camping areas, and this incredible waterfall canyon area.
What is this?
This place is jam-packed with interesting nooks and crannies, so we didn't really stay long in any given area. Each time we found a cool spot, there were 3 more behind it. La Gloria Tolantongo and Las Grutas Tolantongo are connected and both can be enjoyed in a day. However, you'll need to pay an additional fee. As it was getting late in the day, we opted to stick with La Gloria. The entire river running down the middle of both places is a warm river, reaching temperatures of about 32 to 36 degrees Celsius, so roughly body temperature. The current is strong, so make sure not to get pulled over the edge of any of the many cascading waterfalls. We slept the night just above La Gloria in a parking lot that was just being built, and then first thing in the morning had the steep drive to attend to.
Well, playtime's over. Let's go see a pyramid and then go to Mexico City. Exciting.
Look how tight this corner is. Full lock on the steering wheel.
Sweetie.
What? Make you keep the momentum going, otherwise we're gonna stall out. It's so steep. Alright, here comes another corner. Guess how tight that is.
Steep as, right? Steep as.
Full lock on the steering wheel. Almost into the wall.
Goat herding. Goat herding on the pavement.
If you live in certain areas of the country.
Yo.
Cute.
Cute scruffers.
This one's like a teddy bear.
Hi.
Are you scared of him?
Hello. You are cute too. Yes, you are.
You guys are nice.
So we're presently waiting for our laundry to be done at the laundromat right there, and Meg has just sat down and all of the dogs have found her.
These are my friends.
They're your friends.
These are my friends.
Oh my gosh. How are we gonna make it through Mexico without taking a dog on? I don't know.
As we first climbed up a mountain and then shortly after descended the same mountain in search of this camp spot, we joked about the lengths that we will go to find a free camp spot. That being said, this spot turned out to be pretty neat.
So in an effort to find a free camp spot, we drove up into this national park, which is called...
Chico Mineral.
Is it?
See?
Okay, and we're just down the hill from the Pueblo Mágico Mineral del Chico, and we're in this valley that is full of old mine activity, which is really, really cool. And we're gonna go check out these kind of like mine shafts that are off the side of the road, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. First mine shaft. It's just full of garbage.
No, that's too
It's just
bad.
a hole full of garbage.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Hey,
Next.
has anyone told you that today that you're super matching? Like the most matching outfit you've ever seen? Alright, buds. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's not for me.
Whoa. This goes a long ways down. Like, really, really far. I should have brought a headlamp with me.
You have your phone?
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. It looks like it's just a natural cave. Nope, nope. I'm done.
What just happened?
Just like, I don't know. Got the EBGBs. Well, that was pretty uneventful. The rest of the mine shafts are all paid to access. And I don't need to pay to go into a cave, to be honest. But yeah, it's a pretty cool area. I'll show you a few other like old remnants of the mine activity around here.
Mineral del Chico, established in the late 1500s following the Spanish conquest, is a historic mining town in Hidalgo, Mexico. The area became renowned for its rich silver and gold deposits, contributing to approximately 6% of the world's silver production. The town's name reflects its mining heritage, with mineral indicating its mineral wealth. Over time, as mining activities declined, Mineral del Chico transformed into a tranquil mountain retreat, now known for its protected pine, oyamel, and oak woodlands, attracting nature enthusiasts and adventure tourists.
You can see there's old mine ruins up there. And then when we come down here, see all these old arches. If you're ever hot on a hot day, just come and stand right beside an old mine shaft. They get lots of cool air coming out, that's for sure.
Love, what have you made?
Swamp soup with cheese stuffed sourdough.
Wham bam, thank you ma'am.
When you've got a bag of spinach that's going bad,
You make swamp soup
swamp soup.
and cheesy filled bread stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
I love you.
Well, as my dad would say, you stick in until you stick out. Let's go. The following day, we drove the remaining distance from Mineral del Chico to a campground just outside of Mexico City, which would be our step-off point to see the Pyramid of the Sun. We were welcomed by Omar, the campground owner, and his 3 dogs, none of which we know the names of, but they seem pretty chill.
Hello. What are we gonna go see today?
Pyramids.
Pyramids?
Pyramid of the Sun.
Okay.
See?
Alright, so we are on our way to Pyramid of the Sun. I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce the actual Mexican pronunciation or term for the pyramid.
Because you'll just get in trouble.
Yep, I'll just get in trouble for mispronouncing it. But yeah, just over the last day, we drove a few hours to get to Mexico State, just outside of Mexico City. We're gonna go see the pyramid, and then tomorrow head into Mexico City. So let's go. There's our first look at the pyramid, and it's a lot bigger than I expected it to be.
Teotihuacan was one of the most influential ancient cities in Mesoamerica, flourishing between 100 BCE and 550 CE.
Behind me,
Yeah.
this is Instagram. But ahead of me, this is reality.
Located about 50 kilometers or 31 miles northeast of Mexico City, it was a major cultural, religious, and economic center with a population that may have exceeded 100,000 people at its peak.
That right there, folks, is why I don't try and pronounce the names here.
1, 2, 3, 16 letters.
16 letters. Ain't nothing.
The city's builders remain unknown, but it was later revered by the Aztecs, who believed it was the birthplace of the gods. Teotihuacan is best known for its grand architecture, including the Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of the Moon, and the Avenue of the Dead. Despite its decline around the 7th century, its influence persisted in later Mesoamerican civilizations. Overall, the city was pretty cool. To think that these structures were built thousands of years ago by human hands is a pretty impressive reality. Kind of brings to life the Mummy movies from Brendan Fraser, don't you think?
Keep on hearing jaguars around here. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I keep being like, jungle cat, jungle cat.
We returned to our campground and as the day wore on, watched the clouds as they began to threaten rain. The next morning, on our official travel day, we awoke to some new campground friends.
It's happened, guys. We're finally accepting donkeys into the van. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. That's not food. That's not food. That's just a bag. And now we're using Guru as a carburetor.
Yeah. Oh, the ultimate compost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen to that tree.
Like.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Burra kisses. Oh, Alex, you wouldn't like to do that. Slobber.
It's a good experience.
All right, guys. This is Omar, the camp attendant or owner, and he's what are you feeding us? What is this?
This is tepache.
Tepache.
Yeah, Mexican drink.
Okay.
You can taste.
Mmm,
You can make.
yummy. Fermented.
Yeah.
So you can use the pineapple rind and core to make
You
tepache.
can use the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah. For pineapple
Yummy.
and special Mexican sugar.
Oh, okay.
Use
Ah.
piloncillo.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And other spaces. It's for you.
Oh, thank you.
You can taste.
Oh, gracias.
So Omar brought us some of the local fruits. These are prickly pears.
The name is Choconostle.
Choconostle.
Yeah, the lemon of the native people.
Oh.
Choco is acid, nostli, cactus.
Even with the salt, it's really, really sour.
Yeah, it's like a snack, a natural snack. Cut in the middle, keep the center. You can put this part in your salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this part for the choconostle and drink beer or mezcal or tequila. Mix it.
Cool. All right, baby, let's go to Mexico City.
Oh, we're going to the big smoke.
The Big Apple of Mexico. Grande Manzana.
Oh boy.
We had chosen to stay with Omar at Rancho Viejo for 2 nights because we needed to wait out our Hoy de Circula restricted driving day. Mexico City employs a system called Hoy de Circula that is in place to cut down on pollution. Depending on the last number of your license plate, you are not allowed to drive in Mexico City during a certain day of the week. As well, you cannot drive between the hours of 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. unless you have a permit to do so. Now that we're free to drive into the city, we have chosen a route that avoids tolls, which admittedly adds enough time to the journey that perhaps the gas burned is worth the same as the tolls. Nonetheless, we're making our way into the traffic chaos of Mexico City, and let me tell you, it was quite the experience. I don't think I've ever been more focused on the road in my entire life.
Yeah, guys, come on, dance with me. Well, honey, did we make it to,
We survived the drive into Mexico City.
that was pretty wild.
Was it? You did swimmingly, sweetie. If you were stressed, I didn't know.
Well, folks, this is Mexico City. This is home for the next few days. I think the next episode is going to feature a lot of walking around and eating food, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.
Thank you for being here along with us on this journey. We hope that our stories and experiences inspire you and encourage you to get out there into the big, beautiful world that surrounds you in pursuit of your next big adventure so you can make long-lasting memories. Until the next one, keep on roaming. If you'd like to see behind-the-scenes content, get route and camp spot information, or if you'd just like to support us by putting gas in our tank each month, you can contribute on Patreon. And before you go, don't forget to check out slowroamers.com to get yourself some rad Slow Roamers merch. Overall, the city of Teotihuacan. Overall, the city of Teotihuacan. Blah 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 blah. Overall, the city of Teotihuacan. Overall, the city of Teotihuacan. What the heck? Overall, the city of Teotihuacan.